Early preparation positions you for a great marriage. The problem usually is not that single sisters do not know the importance of preparation. The problem is that they take the message of preparation very, very lightly. Hello there, my name is Judith Callistus. I am the Sisters Coach and the founder, Young and Vital Sisters Academy. I empower women with purpose, leadership, digital skills, and practical tools to build brands, businesses, and income streams. I welcome you specially to the 18th edition of Young and Vital Sisters Transformation Tools. Young and Vital Sisters Transformation Tools happens every Monday by 10 a.m. and this is one of those sessions where I believe that your life will be totally transformed. Today, we'll be looking at a topic that says preparing for marriage as a single sister. Preparing for marriage as a single sister. I've been married for 7 years, but the first 2 years of my marriage was hell. I've been married for 5 years, but the first 6 months of my marriage was the opposite of what I had expected. Now, have you heard people speaking in this manner? Have you heard a woman, a couple, a man, saying something like this? The problem is lack of preparation. Many people enter marriage without preparing for marriage. Hence, they go into that marriage and issues begin to arise, and you're wondering, this marriage is too young for this kind of problem. This marriage is too young for this kind of misunderstanding. It's usually a problem of lack of preparation, and it's a very big problem. Note that some of those mistakes and misunderstandings that happens at the early stage of marriage, are the major reasons why you see marriages break. While some marriages try to handle many situations, there are marriages that are carried away by the storm that happens, in the first few years or first few months of that marriage. So the issue of preparing before marriage, it's very, very important, and every single sister has to take it very, very seriously. Now, there are two things that single sisters mistake to be preparation, right? So when you ask a single sister, are you prepared for marriage? How prepared are you? Are you prepared? She says, yes, of course I am prepared. Now, there are two things they mistake for preparation, and number one is age. So when you talk about preparation, for so many single sisters, what comes to their mind is their age. Oh, I am 35. I am prepared for marriage. I am ready for marriage. I am ripe for marriage. I am 40. In fact, I am overripe for marriage. So they think because they are of age, they are already prepared for marriage. But listen, preparing for marriage, right, before entering marriage is not about the age. It isn't about the age at all. It is about your mental maturity, emotional maturity. Believe me, it has nothing to do with it, because I have seen matured single sisters who take decisions, and you're wondering, was it a baby that took this kind of decision? So your maturity most of the times is measured by the decisions you take. Put it down for me in the comment section. Your maturity is measured by the decisions you take, right? So it is not about age. So that you're 35, you're 40, and what have you, it's not a sign that you are prepared for marriage. It is not a sign that you're prepared for marriage at all. Now, I went to a meeting some time ago and I was asking a question. I said, how do you know? It was a single sisters gathering, and I was asking, how do you know that you're prepared for marriage? Sisters were saying different things, and you could tell that no, some of them, are not matured for marriage, even though, they look very, they look older and physically they look matured. But when you listen to them, you understand that this one is not ready and is not prepared for marriage. So age is what so many sisters mistake for preparation. it is beyond age. Number 2 is finances. Now, I love it when single sisters work hard to make their money, right? As a matter of fact, this is my recommendation to every virtuous sisters, to my mentees. I recommend that you have something doing, you acquire skills, so you don't depend on a man to pay your bills. As a matter of fact, it's one of our core messages in YAF's mentorship program, right? That a single sister should be able to foot her bills before she go into marriage. However, preparing for marriage is beyond you having money and having a good career. Did you get that? Preparing for marriage is beyond you having money and having a good career. Some sisters consciously save money to assist their future husbands with some of the expenses. Is it a bad thing? No, it is not a bad thing. But don't be in that position where you say, because I have money, I am prepared for marriage. Because I have a good career, I am prepared for marriage, right? Because I have I've acquired skills, I am prepared for marriage. It's a good thing, but it goes beyond that. Preparing for marriage before you go into marriage is beyond that. All right. Now, so what happens is when the guy comes, and even before he starts telling you the kind of wedding and whatever he wants and all of that, you're already saying, don't worry, I will foot the bill. Don't worry, I'll take care of the wedding gown. Don't worry, I'll take care of whatever. I'll take care of the cake. Please calm down, right? Calm down. Some of the financial assistance we render as single sisters when a man comes to marry us or propose, it's out of desperation, not really because you want to assist, not really because you understand what you're going into. It is because you're desperate, right? So you want everything to be done quickly. You don't want delay. Please calm down. Calm down. Assisting with your money is good, but it is not all there is when it comes to preparation. Now, I'm going to tell you how to prepare for marriage. How to prepare for marriage, right? And number 1 will be know God. Know God. Know God. For every single sister who wants to have a thriving marriage, knowing God is compulsory. That's one of the ways to prepare for marriage before you get married. That's one of the ways to prepare for marriage before you get married, knowing God. Your marriage will work when you know God. Marriage is God's idea. Marriage is not the idea of the media. Marriage is not the idea of the world. God is the founder of marriage. And to do well in marriage, you must be well acquainted with God. You must have a relationship with God. You must do all you can to build a strong relationship with God. That is when you're going to build a thriving marriage. So for every single sister who is listening to me right now, don't ever think you're wasting your time in church. Don't think you're wasting your time in service. Don't think you're wasting your time, serving God, praying, obeying God. You are not wasting your time. You're actually preparing for marriage. You're actually preparing for marriage. So knowing God will not just will not just bring blessings, will not just bring his blessings on you, it will also position you to be marriageable. It will position you to be marriageable. This is very, 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 very important. Now, don't ever think that, okay, the reason why I am serving God, obeying God, is to go to heaven. That is not the only reason, right? So to every sister who is constantly building her faith, this is me encouraging you to go on ahead, right? Your obedience will not only acquire a house for you or a crown for you in heaven, it will also give you the reward of marriage, right? Knowing God is positioning yourself to be marriageable. Put that down for me in the comment section. Knowing God is positioning yourself to be marriageable. Number 2 is know the institution. Know the institution. Now, this is different. It's different from knowing God, right? Now, there are so many firebrand sisters, right, who know nothing about marriage. They go to church, they are in a department, they're in the choir, they are everywhere, they are serving God sincerely and genuinely. As a matter of fact, if the trumpet blows right now, they are headed to heaven, but they do not know anything about marriage, and yet they are praying to be married. They are praying, to God to bring a man. They do not know anything about the institution. Now, part of your preparation requirement as a single sister, is to understand the institution called marriage. To understand the institution called marriage. Now, how can you be seeking for an admission into an institution you know nothing about? Come to think of it, practically, it doesn't make sense. Or I'm seeking admission into the University of Lagos, the University of, whatever, and yet you do not know, you do not have a clue about the institution. Now, that's totally wrong. So you must know the institution you want to get into, and that is part of your preparation requirements. How many books have you read on marriage? How many messages have you read on marriage? And believe me, this is why some ladies go into marriage with unrealistic expectations. Now, in our next session, I'm going to be talking about some unrealistic expectations, that single sisters take into marriage. All right. Now, because you do not know what is required of you as a woman, you do not know what the institution is all about, you go into the marriage with a mindset, right? With a mindset that, at the end of the day, it begins to affect the marriage itself. So you must know the institution, attend seminars, read books on marriage, listen to messages on marriage. Now, there are so many things happening. Now, the devil is really targeting, the institution marriage, right, today, but even in the midst of his attack and whatever he's doing, there are still marriages that stand out, right? Look for such marriages and study them. What is the secret of, the success of this marriage? Attend seminars, read books, study the lives of people who have succeeded in marriage. Now, it will help you reduce some of those fantasies and, unrealistic expectations that we carry into marriage, right? And lastly, know yourself. Lastly is know yourself. Know yourself. Know yourself. Who are you? Is part of the preparation requirement. As a single sister, before you go into marriage, you must be able to know who you are. Discover your identity. Who are you? What assignment has God given to you? What assignment has God given to you? This is very, very important, and this is something every single sister must take seriously. Don't sit down and expect marriage to do for you what you can do for yourself. Did you hear that? Don't sit down as a single sister and expect marriage to do for you what you can do for yourself, right? Discovering who you are is your duty. God has placed so many potentials on your inside. He has deposited so many things on your inside, but you see, going a step forward to, identify that thing, to discover it and then run with it is your duty. Marriage will not do for you what you can do for yourself. Put that also in the comment section. Marriage will not do for you what you can do for yourself. Don't forget that in the school of identity, marriage is just a tool, not the identity itself. Should I say that again? Don't forget that in the school of identity, marriage is just a tool, not an identity. Marriage is a tool, not an identity. So the tendency of losing yourself in marriage, if you don't discover yourself before marriage, is very high. The tendency of losing yourself in marriage, if you do not discover yourself before marriage, is very, very high. So again, marriage will not do for you what you can do for yourself. Thank you so much for joining me on today's Young and Virtuous Sisters Transformation Tools. I hope you got value already. I will see you again in the 19th edition of YAF's Transformation Tools. Thank you so much for staying tuned. Bye-bye.